This is the second look. I'm Keel Harvey. Each week I take an idea that seems obviously true, become unnecessarily suspicious of it, and spend way too much time figuring out what it leaves out. Usually that means work, faith, leadership, or life. Occasionally, it means whatever I got distracted by this week. No hot takes, no easy answers, just a second look. This week's piece started with a pretty harmless observation and ended with me realizing I may have turned more of my life into a performance review than I intended. I like goals, systems, data, and all the other things that make me feel suspiciously competent. So this isn't an argument against any of them. Trust me, if you ask my wife, she will tell you all about the collection of devices I have bought over the year to track a million different things around me. She doesn't love gadgets like I do, but anyway, this article is a question about what happens when those useful tools start deciding what a good life looks like for you. This one's called You Are Not a Factory. Have you ever sat next to someone on a flight who isn't doing anything? No scrolling, no newspaper, no book. They're not napping, they're not meditating. They seem to be of sound mind. They're just sitting there. Who are these unicorns that have nothing to do? What purposelessness drives them to sit with no tasks to complete and apparently time to burn? I must have an answer. Truth be told, those questions say a lot more about me than they do about the man on this flight. The fact that inactivity and inefficiency have become mythical enough to warrant my skepticism tells you something about how I've trained myself, and have been trained professionally, to view inefficiency with disdain. That instinct has become pervasive enough that most of us can picture the person above and wonder the same thing. Is this person okay? Consider the infrastructure that's grown around us purely for the sake of self-optimization. We track our money with budgeting software. We track our steps to make sure we move enough. We pay companies to analyze our DNA so we can adjust our diets and exercise around inherited health risks. We organize our lives through calendars and have developed an entire vocabulary for squeezing more efficiency out of meetings. Phrases like circle back, hard stop, take it offline. We've even taken sleep, the simplest and most restful thing we unconsciously do every day, and started tracking it to make sure we're doing it right. As if sucking down 12 cups of coffee the next morning wasn't already a pretty reliable indicator that you didn't sleep well. I've spent my entire professional career working in and around factories and the people who sell their products. Listen, I believe in KPIs and the data behind them. Efficiency has made products cheaper, reduced waste, improved quality, and increased productivity. In fact, Taiichi Ohno from Toyota helped develop the Toyota production system into one of the most influential manufacturing systems ever created, and modern manufacturing is better for it. Walk through a modern factory and you'll see it's a miracle of industrial engineering. There's only one problem with applying the same logic to you. You are not a factory. When I was 31 years old, I felt like crap. I was tired all the time, my body hurt. I figured at the time it might be all the travel I was doing. So I decided to go to the doctor and get checked out. He's a great guy, straight shooter, so when he came back with a stack of blood test results in his hand, I braced myself. Surely I had some kind of incurable disease. I'll summarize what he said. Dude, you're really fat. I gasped. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Your blood sugar couldn't handle that. Well, I guess I gained a few pounds. If we were at the fair, I'd be pinning a blue ribbon on you. But we're in my office, so I'm just going to give you some blood pressure medication. Okay. He didn't actually say it like that. I took a little license, but pretty much. What he actually said was a lot scarier. How does it sound being dead at 50? If you don't do something, that's where you're headed. And the last 5 years of your life are going to suck. I had 3 kids and a wife who loved me. I weighed 325 pounds, a full 100 pounds above what my 6'2" frame had carried in college when I was running and lifting regularly and had all the energy to do all the college things. In this case, I needed disciplined optimization because I'd gotten way off track somewhere along the way. This was an actual problem that needed solving. I needed a plan. I needed data. For the next 18 months, I tracked every single morsel I ate in MyFitnessPal. I'm talking everything. If I lost control and ate a Big Mac fries in a shake, I logged the Big Mac fries in a shake. No convenient omissions. No pretending the calories didn't count because I regretted them. I lost 100 pounds and brought every major health metric back into normal range. Good for me. Then I stopped tracking. 18 months of obsessive measurement had done what I needed it to do. It forced me to understand what I was eating and helped me retrain habits that I'd barely thought about before. I still carry that awareness with me today, and it's hard to imagine eating the way I did before. In the case of my adult trip to self-imposed fat camp, the optimization worked because it had a job to do. Data and tracking are powerful tools when you clearly know the problem you are trying to solve. It gets dangerous when you start treating your whole life like a problem. There are generally two kinds of people when it comes to planning a vacation. One cannot relax without a clearly designed schedule. The other cannot relax if every moment is planned and executed with precision. Naturally, these people marry each other. My wife Stacy and I are taking our kids to Hawaii with our two best friends later this year. It's a trip I've wanted to take for years, and I am fired up to go. Full disclosure, I'm not a great planner. I don't enjoy it, and I never have. Stacy and our friends, however, approach vacation planning like military strategists. I won't get into the full extent of their preparation, except to offer one detail. They have spreadsheets. I'm lucky if I remember to bring my suitcase. The funny thing is that I love the results of a well-planned trip. I just have no interest in the detailed work required to create one. After almost 18 years of marriage, Stacy and I have started to find a happy medium between planning enough to make the trip worthwhile and leaving enough space to actually enjoy being there. Planning creates the framework for great moments. The priceless memories are the little interactions that occur within the framework. In fact, some of the most valuable things we do seem to require a degree of inefficiency. Some of the best parts of being human work this way. Learning requires hours of practice that eventually become instinct. A good relationship may benefit from intentional time together, but no formula can tell me how many minutes beside my wife will produce a certain amount of love. Thinking itself often requires sitting with no measurable output at all. Structure can help create the conditions for these things, but at some point, the structure has to get out of the way. Now, factories don't think. They don't fall in love. They cannot think deeply about anything. You, however, are rife with complexity. Looking back, I don't think stopping MyFitnessPal represented a failure of optimization. I think it represented its success. The durable benefit of optimization wasn't simply that I lost weight. It was that I trained myself to have a different relationship with food when tracking wasn't happening. That's how the change is mostly endured over the last 9 years. The same will be true in Hawaii. The planning and optimization have to end when the plane lands. Otherwise, I'll miss all the moments that the planning was meant to serve. No sleep score ever declares sleep solved. So before you undertake another optimization and start tracking the color of your pee or whatever, ask yourself, what does the end look like? It isn't wrong to try and optimize your time, money, and relationships. There are aspects of all of these that are worth examining in that way. But leave some margin. Leave some afternoons unplanned. Stare at the sky and think without turning the time into a problem to be solved. Save optimizations for things that actually need fixing. Maybe the man on the plane wasn't broken or bored. Maybe he didn't lack discipline. Maybe there simply wasn't anything he needed to accomplish for the next 3 hours. Good for him. So when you catch yourself beating yourself up for not tracking your REM cycles during a Sunday afternoon nap, or God forbid you suffer from inconsistent urine coloration, try to remember, you are not a factory. That's it for this week. If this made you think, laugh, reconsider something you were pretty sure about, or just waste some company time unproductively, go ahead and subscribe to Upon Further Examination. It's free at keelharvey.substack.com. One thing before you go. I love the Bible. It is my favorite book. I think you get a lot more out of it when you don't treat it like a bunch of inspirational refrigerator magnets. And if you want to get better at studying the Bible for yourself, I wrote a workbook called From the Source. It's for people who want to understand Scripture without needing a theology degree or 17 highlighters. You can find it at keelharveybooks.com or on Amazon. And another thing, if you're trying to build a more consistent daily habit with Scripture and do it with people that you know and trust, check out rockreader.com. It's a free app that I built to make that easier. You can follow a reading plan, journal as you go, and connect with a few people you trust. So you're not doing it alone. It's private by default, completely free, and you can find it at rockreader.com or in the Google Play Store. I'm Keel Harvey. Thanks for spending some time with me. I'll see you next week. And please, for the love of God, stop tracking the color of your pee.